Oh, DJ Apollo is back in the house, and when he turns the music off, it goes off. It doesn't fade out, it just goes off.
Yes.
Anyway, we're basically just about ready now for both of these guys. They're just finishing up the vetoes. Cass has finished warming up. And like I said, this is going to be Cass versus Bling. Bling being... Well, actually, Bling is... he should actually be well prepared for this matchup because he's actually going up against a Muslim tomorrow. In the War of the Roses show match that I'll be doing with Total Biscuit tomorrow. But he's going to be well prepared, man. That's what it's called, man. War of the Roses. They both have a rose each and they're like this. But yeah, that's going to be an epic match. And he's been training. He actually lives in the Millennium Pro House, if you didn't know now. Bling has moved over there. They actually... Him and Stefano kind of just clicked as friends, like when they met each other at LAN and they played 2v2. Cup, right? Yeah. Well, actually, even before that, not the latest Home Story Cup, they were friends before that as well. I mean, they were together at the IPL 4 qualifier in the UK as well, but they were just instantly friends, and I'm sure the way it went down was obviously Stefano was like, I'm living in this pro house in France, why don't you come? And Bling was like, yeah, great. So Bling now is, working, playing full-time in France, and that's obviously a lot of concentrated practice. And the Millennium House teams has a coach, has a strict schedule, so I'm sure that's obviously going to be benefiting him a lot. But Cash right now is on a high.
Yes, absolutely.
I am Kiev. He played amazing versus Zenio. Like you said, better than he normally would have been. And now he has to play up against Bling. And Cass has just been playing so good. The thing is with Cass, he's always been good. But
now he's showing it in tournaments, right?
Yeah. He's always been good offline, and he's not had the result. He's done well in groups and then fell down, right, and offline. But now he's got past that again. And that is just going to load his confidence for 2012.
Yesterday, it's actually funny because you have two players in this tournament, Stefano and Cass, who are also both playing in the one-game Gamers Nation tournament.
Yeah.
And yesterday they both advanced to round 4. I think Cass beat Chef 3-2 in a very close series too there. And Cass definitely showing good play there. But Stefano beat Violet. And of course it's going to be TVP now.
Yeah,
and I think Bling is pretty good in TVP.
Bling is actually very good. Remember when he played in the WCG, he managed to take a map off MVP.
Yes.
Right? So an MVP is MVP. So
that goes without saying. So as we were saying before earlier, I think this is probably maybe the most exciting matchup out of the round of 8 here because it's going to be closer than anything else. I mean, Titan versus Stefano. I would say Stefano is a clear favorite, even though I wouldn't
count Titan out.
Titan out, yeah. But Stefano definitely had it in that matchup just from the pure numbers.
Yeah.
And Nurture versus BC Cutie, if you look at the stats that we're gonna have later on, I think was 80% win rate for Nurture against BC Cutie. So that's gonna be very strongly in favor for Nurture. But now coming up, Cass against Playing. Anything could happen, really.
Yeah.
Really excited.
I mean, both of these guys are macro players. I mean, Bling is against Zerg. I mean, that's his kind of, I don't like to play Zerg late game. I'm going to try and end it mid game. That's his kind of play style there. But against Terran, both of these guys like to play it out. And to be honest, I think if anybody was going to throw a kind of an awkward play in, I think it would be Bling because Cass is so solid. He relies on the same build every game.
It's actually a big flaw of Cass's play that he is so predictable in that way because he just relies on his strong mechanics but doesn't like to deviate too much. Which I think if he would play in Korea would be a problem because Koreans
get exploited so easy.
Yeah, because they have a team house. They're going to be 10 people. Okay, MVP is playing Cass next in GSL. Let's watch 100 replays and just tear them apart.
Exactly.
But in Europe, we are not as far yet. We're not. People are not getting overanalyzed like that, and it works very well for us to just play that one strong style and rely on the mechanics and just play straight games like that. But I'd really like to see Cass to broaden his horizon and put in a little bit of cheese, some timing attacks, deviate his play a little bit. He will have to do that in the future for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like, Tilo, we are ready. The first map is going to be Taldra Malta, the second map Terminus, and then the final map is going to be on Daybreak. So actually that's a great map pool for these players. I mean, the large maps, first of all, and they're all going to be long, dramatic games, I'm sure. And we'll see how this goes down, man. It looks like Cass is ready, and also Bling is ready. So let's get ready to go into game, Mr. Tilo. Are you ready?
Absolutely, I'm
You're
always ready.
Man.
Yes.
You're always ready. All right, man. Let's do this, guys. Let's go into the game. Bling versus Cass. I like that, by the way. That was amazing, by the way. I'm like, oh my god.
Touching my beard.
Because the thing is, like, in IM, everyone's like, do it, man, do it. And I, like, didn't do it. And I'm like,
Okay. Did it feel good?
It's like, yeah, it was pretty good. It was just so intense.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
I can touch it every day. A lot of people are jealous of that. A lot of people are going to be jealous of you having had the opportunity to touch it, actually. You're going to have a very strong future because of it now.
I hope so.
It's a
I'm
lucky
going to go
beard.
to a line and be like, this hand, I touched his beards. So, all right.
People are actually saying we should switch shirts because I would look like a true lumberjack.
Into the game we are, ladies and gentlemen. Dignitas Bling here is the orange Protoss in the bottom left, and we have Cass, Empire Cass in the top right. The Destroyer here playing. I like the laughter in the background. It's awesome. Oh man, we should, shouldn't we? And down in the bottom left to my left is none other than the Lumberjack Tilo. Thank you for joining me, buddy. Thank you a lot for coming to your own house.
I was about to say, in fact, it's actually more... It's you joining me at my home and me joining you at your stream.
I know. We're together right now in cyberspace. It's
Yes.
awesome.
Let's see if Bling goes for a gateway or if he's just gonna go for.
To be
Nexus
honest, yeah, I was
first.
gonna say just go ahead. I mean, Bling is like I said, one of the players that if anybody was to do something different, it would be him. And knowing Cass's style, and especially being in a team house, he can bounce ideas off.
Yeah, and
which
look
is
at
something
that.
which is a lot different than playing at home because you're like, should I do it? Rather than just like speaking to someone on Skype, it just seems a lot more practical when you like.
It's
Stefano's like, dude, just go it, do it.
Yeah,
Just
do
it.
man.
Do it!
Yes.
Do it, Nexus first, do it!
Yes,
and,
absolutely.
Bling is just gonna go and do it. So, and Cass, on the other hand, though, has taken gas, which is actually really surprising too, because Cass is not a guy that likes to take his gas. And especially in this matchup, he
That's
is a
really
guy...
hard to say Cass and gas. That's gonna get
I
me
know,
confused.
Gas doesn't like to take his cast, but, I mean, he's decided to do it this time around, and... first of all, he has to build a Marine, unless he wanted to go Reaper Expo, and he's going to try and deny scouting vision. And having seen Nexus first, the problem is, though, I still don't think it's going to be viable for him to pull off any aggression, especially if Bling decides to get down a rather fast second gate as well.
It's cross
But-
position. Cass is gonna scout now. He's gonna see him on second position.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be more or less too late to make
Yeah.
any decision based on what he scouts. So if he would want to go for aggression now, it would have to be
Yeah.
a blind shot. And Cass is really not the kind of player who would do that.
What is going on? The Destroyer? What is going on? He's building a factory.
Okay.
Cass, what are you doing? You never do this, but he's building a factory now, which is really interesting. And this now could get difficult for Bling, because obviously Bling is playing of what everybody expects from Cass. Nexus first. But if we see early aggression, even, with just simple Marine Hellions, that could be doing a lot of damage. And now the
Tech
Tech Lab has come down. He may opening up with just, maybe a Banshee opening, do you think?
Could be a Banshee.
It-
If you
I
look
mean,
at
there's so many options,
If you look
of
at the
course,
timing,
but-
the tech lab and the factory is gonna line up, of course. The thing is, Bling is not gonna be able to scout the natural. He gets the probe in there. There's
Yeah.
Marines blocking it.
Oh,
so
man, yeah.
he probably thinks it's probably a coincidence anyways. Whatever, it's Cass, right? A reactor on the factory.
Oh,
Marauders
Marauder
out of the
Hellion.
barracks. Marauder Hellion.
Oh, man.
That's gonna be interesting
Well-
to see, and I'm really happy Cass does that because he's actually proving me completely wrong what I said earlier,
Yeah.
saying he needs to deviate more, and that's exactly what he's doing now. So that's good.
And Bling is not taking any chances, though. He's still kind of using the gateways. That would have been dangerous if he hadn't have done that. At the same time, Cass still could have poked out with Marines, and then obviously Bling needs to be careful about it. He also needs to scout. With a couple of Stalkers, he could potentially do that, and I'm actually surprised that we haven't seen Concussive Shells come down yet from Cass. He may just be going for Stim, and if he goes straight into Stim and waits for it with a lot of Hellions and Marauders, he could be in a lot of trouble. But the thing is, those Stalkers may be able to penetrate the first kind of wave of these Marines and poke through and see there's no expansion, but there is the Concussive Shells, actually, so if Bling loses any amount of units right now, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. You can see now, he is taking the second gas. I guess he's going to add on the robotics facility soon, or actually, no. Okay, that's going to work so well for Bling.
Oh my god, he sees everything. He sees Hellions, he sees Marauders. That wasn't executed very well by Cass. He didn't hide it very well. He should have had a bunker on the front. He had the minerals to fake.
Yeah.
in expansion.
And he gets a Hellion too!
That's huge actually. Hellions get stronger and stronger in bigger numbers, and the
Bling
second Hellion is very highly damaged.
He throws down the fourth as well. He lines it up because he scouts at exact same time. He's going to be at 6 gateways. It's basically the best case scenario against this build right now. And he's going to be loving life right now. No, even though he sees pressures coming, he's going to be so happy. Look, he's even building an aggressive pylon, knowing that he's going to be able to hold this and then counter-attack from it.
Oh my god, Cass loses another Hellion.
No way.
There's 3 Hellions already. He's going to get 2 Stalkers now.
But the gateways are just now finishing up. Warp gate is done, of
5
course.
units are going to be warped in immediately. 6 following quickly. He's going to get
the
some
probes,
maybe.
the probes. Oh, Bling is in a corner. He's trapped, actually.
But he could just close it down there.
The pylon finishes just in time, and in
Oh
come
my
the Zealots.
god! The pylon goes down. No, it doesn't go down. It has 9 hit points remaining. A single Marauder shot. If he would have gotten the pylon, that would have been huge because no more reinforcement for Blink basically. But
man, these Zealots won't die basically, and Stalkers are just going to keep hitting away, and even the robotics facility is down as well. And I will not be surprised if we see Bling just go for a straight counterattack against this. 4 more Stalkers have been warped in on that aggressive pylon, and Cass is on the back foot. This did not work well.
Well, actually took out all the Zealots now. There's 2 Marauders still. Imagine if Cass would still have 3 more Hellions though, but he will not stop those for Stalkers.
Yeah, they're going to
be anything about that.
They're going to be 2-shotting Marauders now and 2-shotting Hellions too, but at the same time there's still pressure onto the natural, but with 6 gateways and a decent economy because he is at 38 probes, he's going to be able to warp in enough, and in goes those for Stalkers. He's cutting off the barracks as well that have been added on, as well as the bunker. The Marauders are going to get one shot as well. Cass is still putting pressure onto the natural, but I think the production capabilities of Bling is just a little bit too much here.
Absolutely. I mean, even if you would kill all probes at the natural, at this moment it wouldn't even matter anymore. GG.
Wow. Cass does something different, TLO, and it didn't work.
Yes, well, I mean, that's a sign of him not being very experienced with it, really.
Yeah, and surprisingly for a lot of people, I think a lot of people were expecting Cass to just come in, hit the command center button and win, right?
Yes.
But Bling just stands up and says, no, that is not how this game is going down. I've been prepared for this matchup for quite a while now. I've known that I'm playing the Muslim tomorrow, and even seen that through, and just is looking very sharp right now. And like I said, this game can be 50-50, can go either way. And the next map is going to be on Terminus, man. What do you think we're going to see on Terminus?
Terminus? Well, I mean, obviously it's quite a defensive map. You can macro up quite easily. I think it's a nice map for Protoss because it's very hard for Terran to finish off Protoss. And of course, there are some Terrans who are really good at even late game with Ghost Torsane, for example, or MVP on the highest tier of Koreans. But for most Terrans, I think it's really uncomfortable to fight Protoss at a 25-minute mark because it's very hard to deal with fully maxed out, fully teched out Protoss army. Yeah,
that's right, man. We'll see how that goes down. So, guys, we're just going to go to a quick commercial break. So, just 60 seconds. And thank you for, if you're not running AdBlock, thank you guys for doing that. And then we'll be back with game number 2 between these 2 epic players, Cass and Bling. Be right back.